I know you guys are thinking, am I going to do the crazy intro? Intros? No. But, I know you guys are seeing in the beginning of this that I had the lights on. Well, it was kind of raining, but now it's not. It's now sunny. But with humidity. Although reporters, of course, weather people are saying there's going to be more rain. Who knows? Anyway, let's talk about the one thing that is going to cause me into more trouble, or you guys to go crazy and try to go after him. But please do not, as I'm going to beg of you and talk to you guys not to go after anybody. So, let's talk about what took place. My ultimate meltdown. I'm not talking about what happened a couple of weeks ago. I meant what happened in February. And this whole entire chain reaction blew up into my face. And that's why I'm still upset. And regardless of what also happened in April. So, if you guys didn't know, I made a video and how angry and upset I was. I was crying. I was so red. And you guys can tell, even though right now I look pink because I just drank coffee. Got to cool it down. But anyway. So, you guys are wondering, what the heck happened? And well, push comes to shove. There was so much jealousy. My emotions got to the best of me. And what happened? Well, there's two different sides to this story that you may end up hearing out of my mouth. One side of the story is, yeah, I was jealous. Jealous of his friend. Either it's his friendship, or was it something else? The other thing was, I had no answer. No answer of what happened. So how did we end up like this? Why I'm still feel so attached to somebody that made me just leave. Yet, I feel that I haven't much recovered. Especially now, with everything had just piled up onto me. So, what happened? Well, let's see. It was started off like this. I said it since I was on Twitch, and I said to Zane, decided, want to follow some of his moderators. Of course, right now I do follow Chibi Zeppa and Miss Kiwi Drawler. And the reason why she's called that is because, well, Kiwi can draw. And she is, and not because Kiwi, and the reason why we call her Kiwi, it's not her favorite fruit, is actually she's from New Zealand, and New Zealand are called Kiwis. I believe. Anyway, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go follow one of Zane's other moderators, Meza. Next thing you know, he ends up following me. He sends me a direct message. Check out his YouTube channel and his Twitch channel. Oh, and his Discord. I'm like, cool, fine with me. And realized I have my Twitch channel. Well, I was kind of streaming. And then the whole entire thing happened with Meza. So from there, I was really kind of happy, and I guess maybe because suddenly I had this crazy feelings happening, and next thing you know, I looked at him, and my God, I shouldn't say that, but my initial reaction was, my God, how handsome is he? He's more handsomer than Zane, but not as much as Jordan. Wait, why did I say that? Well, Lindsay, you're not supposed to say that kind of stuff. But, yeah. And this happened in August last year. And around that time, you guys know that I was going through a lot. My mother just had her surgery. We ended up going to Atlantic City. So, around September, when I was in Florida, and it was hard for me to watch Zine and Meza because I was on vacation. It was hard for telling anybody that I was on vacation. I mean, seriously. See, and Discord's way out of control. However, by the time we were coming home, then I got angry at my mother and my brother that we should be stopping at a hotel and continue the rest of the journey back home. But both my mother and my brother were so stubborn, and actually my mother promised me, but she broke her promise. But anyway, on the way home, I'm on Twitter. I get this little notification. Suddenly, it's another Twitter account belonging to Meza. And it was, in fact, revealing his first name and his last name. And I'm like, what? And to be honest with you guys, I had to do a little research on him. And it turns out he has 3 YouTube channels. The first one is called Journey to My Dreams, which he vlogs. And mostly his style is somewhat of that of Casey Neistat. You know Casey, big YouTuber, almost hitting the 10 million subscribers. Although between him and Sunday, I'm hoping both of them reach 10 million by the end of this year and get their play buttons by this year or next year. Anyway, actually speaking about more of that. Now, I guess you can say that, like me, he subscribes to both Sunday and Craner. The only gaming channels he subscribed to. Even though he has subscribed to other channels, including those who are on YouTube, and especially that stuff. But on his vlog channel, Journey to My Dreams, he says the only 2 channels he will watch is those 2. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. See, somebody who watches Craner and Sunday like I do, who's a mod for Zine, who was, and I do mean this, was an admin for 2 series. Maya Knight, which apparently don't go after Jordan, please. I beg of you. Don't go after Jordan, don't go after Tom, don't go after Sonia. Please don't do that, okay? The reason why there's no Maya Knight Season 3 is because they just don't want to, because Sonia is moved on, and so has Tom. And despite Jordan, well, Jordan. But, yeah, he was a server admin for Maya Knight And also Zine was also the server admin for Trollcraft that started Jordan, Craner, and Sunday. And if you guys are thinking, is there going to be another Trollcraft season? No, not that either. And the reason why is, well, Jordan is in fact currently doing two different series. Sevtech with Zine, of course that's what's going on, and the both of them are in a huge group of what's called the Deep Band, along with Tyler Pappas, aka Zip, Stacy Hinosa, otherwise known as Stacy Plays, and don't get mad at me, it's on their display names. There's also Mr. Joey Graceffa, or I say Miss Joey Graceffa, because he wants to recognize as a queen. And the reason why I said that and snap my fingers is because Joey Graceffa is gay, and believe me. Even though Joey's been kind of busy with relaunching his merch store, or excuse me, his line of necklaces and other stuff, not to mention his book coming out. And on top of that, I don't know, there's other, oh yeah, and of course his show. It's also his show that he started, and also featuring, I guess two friends, I could say, of Jordan's. Rosanna Pansino and, of course, Matt Pat. And, by the way, everybody needs to lay off of leaving Matt Pat alone. I have seen comments everywhere on social networks. Please don't talk bad about him. Alright, besides that, he's in Joey's third season of Escape the Night. He's gonna be a dad. And I think this is what's been going on. He's kind of nervous. I mean, seriously. I had seen this before. Actually, I'm not sure if this really happened when Matthias, oh, I can't believe I said this. I talked about this about 2 years ago. Matthias was probably felt nervous too when he became a first-time father to him and Amanda Faye's daughter, Luna. And believe me, and especially when Luna was born, and when Matthias had to make the videos, his eyes were bloodshot, and everybody thinks he was on drugs. He wasn't on drugs. I mean, he had to take care of his daughter. Alright? So if anybody thinks that's what's going on with Matt Pat, if he's high or anything, lay off. Okay? Matt Pat's gonna be a father, their first time father, okay? So lay off. Alright? I don't know if I consider Jordan so anyway. And yes, there are others, including Afmal. Her and her husband are involved. There's Funny and her crew, as in K-R-E-W. So that's going on. Also, there's some others, including Yami, CPK, and I think even Tiff, otherwise known as I Hot Cupcake, who hasn't been doing Minecraft in 3 years. I'm like, really? Wow. But anyway, so let me get back to this. So yes, it's crazy. And then of course, not to mention that Zine's now doing things with Jordan. I mean, they did Sky Factory after Trollcraft had ended last year. Well, of course, Craner won. Zine and Jordan did was Sky Factory, which that was really crazy. They did They did, they were on, I think they're still doing Skybounds. Don't know when they're gonna end that. And of course, Sevtech, and of course the Deep End. And not to mention, they also will also do Fortnite. Even though, there are a lot of things going on. But, so now you know where this whole entire fiasco is going to start off. But what happened? What drove me away from him? Away from Mazza? He was... I don't know how to describe it. If this sounds weird coming out of my mouth, just let you guys know, I'm not acting like I'm a freaking SJW, alright? But what happened was, I had this feeling, and I was too nervous to say anything, and but the one thing happened was, he got obsessed, and he got obsessed with another streamer. And thinking about what happened, when the two of them met, it just broke me. So, I broke down in tears, and I was in complete another mess. But around that time, I started to do the Weight Watchers dieting, and that kind of backfired because, well, like mother, like daughter, my mother is kind of lazy, and she kind of forgets after doing it. And even though I want to do it, continue, but somehow I end up forgetting too. Not to mention, there are foods that, well, besides the foods that, like, skipping, just also to let you guys know, not an ad, but there are some foods that have calories count, and not to mention, there are foods that were not even calorie counted. And of course, the other thing was, it was a brutal situation that there were things that were not put in they were things that were not in there that drove me nuts. That I had to do it every time. And of course, around that time, there were also other things that I had to focus on my situation that I'm not going to talk about because that's being taken care of already. However, but still. Then, of course, while that was happening, and, I had to stay. I was upset. And then I decided to focus on streaming and stuff. The next thing you know, that day in April, the last Sunday in April, was the brutalest thing ever. My mother gets a crazy phone call, and it's from her friend, who she told me that she was not on speaking terms. And then when my mother answered the phone, everything went and made me felt so upset. And thinking about this, and even though I had to wake up nearly almost every day thinking, is this a dream? The only person, when I told some people about what's happening, there was one person I wanted to tell, but as I remembered, I exiled him. I exiled myself from him. I was angry and upset. And I am right now. And it shouldn't happen. course, my mother tries to make things so calm, so easy. And she said to me, "Oh, we haven't seen him in 5 to 6 years. Mom, it's me who hadn't seen Thomas in 5 to 6 years. You saw him almost 3 years ago. Is that right?" Of course, that day, I was in a complete utter mess. As I am again. I know I was crazy enough. The next couple of days, and until things went exploding more into it, I had decided to watch YouTube videos. Around that time, I decided to watch Jordan, Craner, and that time Sunday was coming back from his hiatus. And just because around that time, on New Year's Day, he told everybody that he had issues in his marriage. And it took him months until April, and I thought this would take I thought this was going to take all 2018, and something that I thought Ian was going to figure out with or without his wife, Madeline. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, well, why isn't Madeline back with Ian? They are. It's just that she's not going to be showing up onto despite he decided to cut back the days of making videos so he can focus on her. And on the days he can making YouTube videos, it's enough. And because of that did help him out, boost up to 9 million subscribers. But, I would love to see him get 10 million subscribers and get that diamond play button. And, But anyway. Sorry, I'm being too greedy. But yes, like I said, everything was happening. So when I because of that, I was watching Jordan, Craner. Sunday was coming back already and making videos. And I also was watching Tyler. And then since then, I worked my way out of also watching others, including that of Zine. And just more than a couple of days ago. Oh. And now all of a sudden, last night, I found out Jordan went live and started to watch him and Zine streaming on Twitch Sevtech. Though everybody on Jordan's stream was acting crazy. I mean, I do want to watch Jordan live on Twitch as much as I can on watching him on YouTube, but the chat was acting so crazy because they were memeing him left to right. And I know that sometimes that Jordan complains in his videos when he does that, but he should know that he needs to go into the flow with the memes. I mean, seriously, look how crazy it happened for Ninja till he had no other choice. But and then I decided, I'll watch Zine's stream. turns out I watched a little bit much of it, and there were a lot of things in the comments. Well, the chat. I mean, Lowbro came in and had to, target, not target, I should say, had to start tracking and making sure users quit saying stupid things in the comments. And then he says, and of course, Renhammer, who is a Twitch streamer who lives out in Germany, got married, as I heard. He came by and the little bro gifted him a sub to Zane's channel. It was pretty funny and stuff, but I don't know. I guess I miss watching that kind of stuff. I mean, besides watching Zane, Hayne, and Jordan dealing with all this craziness. And then it just made me think, well, what about Meza? And I wasn't much sure. If you guys seen my Instagram stories, how I wanted to, but after what happened in February, everything blew back on me. And did Meza know that I left? Sure, because I left his Discord. But if there was a way to tell him, which I'm sure there isn't, I'd tell him I'm sorry. But I can't deal with that. Not while I'm trying to rebuild out myself. And mostly, I'm also kind of focusing on log.zip. I mean, well, Tyler, I prefer to call him that because he didn't mention it. Of course, he said he's dropping 2 videos today because he forgot to upload yesterday. Well, not really forgot. He had issues. Such a well-knit guy, you know. But if there's any ways of going back on to watching Zane and Meza, I don't know. I mean, maybe I could. I mean, after all, I had seen on Mr. Mad Spice YouTube channel, Team Fired Unlimited, I think. He shared off streaming moments, his end of what happened. And when the two of them decided to play Raft, that Craner had played. Actually, I think Jacksepticeye had played it before as well, before I found out Craner had, and then I know he did play it again, and as well as I seen Jess and Jason. Sorry, I meant Afmal and her husband. Sorry, I know that. I mean, jeez. Anyway, guys, that's all I'm gonna have to say. To be honest with you guys, I would want to go back. But there are a lot of things going on. Especially, I'm also wanting to prepare myself to find out what I was expecting this Friday with Tyler, with him and his best friend Preston. They're both going to be doing a lot of Bedrock stuff, and I had subscribed to their channels. But I just don't know anymore. So